Jasmine Crockett, a young rising star in the Democratic Party, claims we are facing an international crisis and potential World War III because Donald Trump is pursuing peace with Russia.
Guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter. Y'all, this is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis. We may be heading towards the next world war because we have a president that wants to pal around with Putin and wants to do everything to make him feel good, including lying about who invaded who.
Democrats are literally making the argument that pursuing peace with Russia will lead to World War III. They straight up adopted the war is peace, ignorance is strength, freedom is slavery mentality. What does it say that this psychopath is one of the leading rising stars of the Democratic Party? Jasmine Crockett is a George Soros-funded candidate who exists in order to sell war and neoliberalism to the black community. Jasmine Crockett complains about white supremacy at home while voting to fund neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Not only does she vote to arm neo-Nazis in Ukraine, she also voted to arm Israel as they were committing their genocide against the Palestinians.
Did vote for it. I voted for that along with every other supplemental that was available. And I will tell you this. It is important that people understand what diplomacy looks like. And it looks like the fact that this relationship between Israel and the United States has existed since before I was born. And guess what? This relationship will continue on in perpetuity even after I'm gone. And so when you look at Israel, I think it is important that people start to talk about the fact that the state of Israel versus their leadership. Because right now, or when I went to Israel, I know that the people were protesting Netanyahu. At least when Lebanon, we talked about what? They had the pagers, correct?
Right.
And so they were literally more calculated in trying not to do...
Those pagers blew up in grocery stores and a little girl was killed.
I understand, and I'm not disagreeing with that. And I want to be clear. No one should ever be okay with war.
You voted to fund it.
No, I did not vote to fund war. What I voted for...
Yes, you did. You voted to supply Israel with armaments that they're using in their prosecution of the war.
Jasmine Crockett will have you believe that she opposes white supremacy, and she would accuse all of her Republican enemies of being white supremacists. Meanwhile, she supports the genocidal apartheid state of Israel. Black liberalism is a complete fraudulent ideology. Have you guys ever noticed that as members of the Black Congressional Caucus, who actually tend to be the most hawkish and the most pro-Israel people in Congress? Richie Torres, Jim Clyburn, Hakeem Jeffrey, Jasmine Crockett. The Black Congressional Caucus is infested with neocons. The same way that black cops tend to be the most violent, black politicians had to overcompensate and become even more hawkish to send a signal to their colleagues that they are with them and they are not one of the bad ones.